Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, have you had to telecommute? Prior to the onset of the pandemic, only 3.6% of employees telecommuted at least half the time. This number has skyrocketed to about 50% of all Americans telecommuting full time. This begs the question, is telecommuting the future of work? Or is it only a temporary solution to survive a difficult situation? Today we will be examining current trends and exploring what the future of telecommuting might look like. I'm Raid here with Jotform. Let's jump right in. First, let's take a look at why telecommuting will likely continue to grow in the future. As it turns out, the shift to telecommuting has been very successful for many employees and companies. A large percentage of temporary telecommuters will never return to full-time office work. Companies like Twitter and Shopify have even announced that workers can continue to work from home permanently. Though we can't say how many companies will embrace telecommuting when the pandemic eventually ends, there are several reasons why it will probably stick around. For starters, there's an increased demand from employees. In fact, a large number of full-time office employees wanted to telecommute even before the pandemic. Now that a lot of employees are telecommuting, some of them will be unwilling to go back to the office full-time. Telecommuting offers a level of flexibility that just isn't there when working in an office. Employees are able to take more breaks and work at their own pace when telecommuting. Another reason is that the fear of the unknown is diminishing. Managers that have to deal with telecommuting are finding that their concerns about its inefficiency are totally unsupported. According to Deborah DiNocenzo, the founder of telecommuting consultancy Virtual Works, many senior leaders and managers have been finding that telecommuting just isn't that bad. The jobs that they thought could never be done from home are going very well with telecommuters. Employers are becoming more and more aware of the benefits to telecommuting. With telecommuting, there are benefits like reduced office costs and access to a larger talent pool. Every worker who has at least a half-time telecommute schedule saves an employer around $11,000 per year. It also promotes business survival. COVID-19 has made telecommuting a necessity for most businesses. Without the option to work from home, many more businesses would have shut down permanently. But since employees can work from home, they are able to keep themselves safe and businesses running. And lastly, our recent technology supports telecommuting better than at any time in the past. Without a reliable internet connection and a plethora of software tools, telecommuting would not be as popular as it is now. Apps like Zoom and Slack have made remote work possible and easier than ever. And it's safe to say that as new technologies, including virtual reality and artificial intelligence, improve, our ability to manage distributed teams will become even easier than it is right now. While we can assume that telecommuting will continue to grow, it probably won't look the same in the near future. So, what new trends will we see in the future? And how will they impact current employment arrangements? We've got a list of 3 telecommuting trends that experts foresee in our future. First, there will likely be more hoteling. Hoteling is a practice in which employees who telecommute part-time can reserve an office space or workstation for their in-office days rather than keeping a permanent workspace. Utilizing this strategy can reduce an organization's office space requirements and costs. It seems that the percentage of people telecommuting on any given day will be much higher than it's ever been. While employees may not telecommute every weekday, they may want to telecommute 2 or 3 days out of the week. This will result in companies having smaller office spaces with more of an employee rotation. So while some are telecommuting, some will be in the office. And with the rise in remote workers, we will likely see them receiving more benefits. Since telecommuting previously wasn't very common, there was never much competition on benefits tailored to remote workers. But since telecommuting has become more widespread, this will likely change. While most full-time employment benefit packages won't change, employers will start competing on work-from-home benefits. Workers will also look into what telecommuting costs employers will reimburse them for. This can include things like the cost of Wi Fi and a stipend for a home office. Remote workers can ask for equipment like a standing desk, office chair, and desktop monitor. And finally, there will be more of a debate regarding salaries for remote workers. Facebook has announced that they plan on shifting to a more remote based workforce. However, this comes with a stipulation that has proven to be controversial. Facebook will link salaries to the employee's location to match the cost of living. It's likely that the debate over whether salaries for remote workers should be universal or linked to a location will intensify. This means that two people, one living in San Francisco, one living in Nebraska, both working from home and both doing the same work, will get paid very different salaries. Having salaries be tied to the local cost of living will allow companies to remain more competitive as they attract top talent who prefer to live in more expensive cities. Without a locally competitive salary, you can't always attract top tier workers, but the debate over fairness will continue. Okay, let's review. It's no secret that telecommuting will continue to grow in the future. More and more employees are demanding it. Managers are realizing that it's possible to have more employees work from home. It supports business continuity, and we have the technology to support it. As for new trends in telecommuting, we will likely see a rise in hoteling as more employees work from home part-time. There will also be discussions surrounding benefits and salaries for remote workers. As our technology changes, so will telecommuting. But is this just another method of getting work done among many? Only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm Raid here with Jotform. Have a great day, everybody.